In your money news this morning, the price of real estate in New York always seems to be on the rise. So if you want to buy a new home, well, you can look into the hidden market of foreclosures.
Dr. Dani Babb is here now. She's the author of Finding Foreclosures, and she has some steps to cashing in on foreclosures. And some people may think that in looking at foreclosures, you're taking advantage of somebody else's misfortune. So we should note here with the problem with the subprime lending market right now, a lot of people are trying to negotiate with their banks and with their lenders so they don't lose their homes. But the reality is some people have no choice and the home is foreclosed. What does it mean exactly?
What it means is that these individuals are delinquent on their payments. They will most likely lose their home anyway, and that's when the homeowner, the new buyer, can actually come in and save that individual from having a foreclosure on their record.
So there's a foreclosure, which is when the bank takes the property back, and then you highlight in your book pre-foreclosures. That's when somebody is in trouble, the bank will likely step in, and you say there's a way in which you can go in and negotiate with that homeowner to try and buy the property at that point.
There is. If you can talk with the homeowner and come up with an agreed upon amount as a purchase price for the home, you jointly take that together to the bank and make the bank an offer. It's just essentially what you would do with a resale home, except that you're making the offer to the bank. Work with the bank and the homeowner. The three of you come to a consensus on the new sale value of the home, and then from that point forward, it proceeds as a normal loan.
You're stepping into somebody else's problems, though, in a sense. How do you make sure that whatever, combination of bad circumstances that led to the foreclosure in the first place don't somehow drag you down?
Well, you need to do a title check, and that's where escrow and title companies will come in and really help you. You should not be doing these deals outside of an escrow company. You don't necessarily need a real estate agent. In fact, sometimes approaching a homeowner with an agent makes it seem more like a sales deal rather than a homeowner to homeowner trying to help one another. But you do need an escrow and title company. They need to make sure that the title is clear of encumbrances, that there are no mechanics liens and so forth, tax liens that may carry over into your purchase.
We've all seen the spam emails, the late-night infomercials talking about come here for the best list of foreclosures, which raises the question some of those might not be legitimate. How do you actually get a list of legitimate homes that might be going into foreclosure or are already in foreclosure?
If you want a list of homes already in foreclosure, you can go to the title agencies. They have up-to-date lists. They're usually updated weekly, so that's not a problem.
Is there a cost associated with that?
Not from the title agencies, no. They'll send out a weekly email. You can ask to be put on their foreclosure list, and they'll keep you notified. You can also use sites like I use Realty Track because it'll show you the pre-foreclosure as well as the foreclosure status.
How do you know what the price should be, factoring all this in? I mean, if you can figure out what the market price for a regular property in that location with that number of bedrooms, et cetera, should be, how much do you then subtract given the circumstances?
Well, a lot of homeowners today still think that their houses are worth what they were a year ago, and they're not, which raises a very good point. You don't necessarily want to look at what's for sale in that neighborhood, but you want to look at what has sold in that neighborhood and need to look in the last 3 months within the same zip code if you can.
In some cases, can you get the house for what is owed on the loan, which could be far less than what the market value is, and therein lies the profit?
Actually, you can get it for even less than what the homeowner owes on the home. Yeah, and sometimes you can get that between 20 and 30% lower than what the homeowner owes.
Okay, so assuming you found a legitimate list of pre-foreclosures or foreclosures, you're ready to approach the bank.
Sure.
Do you need cash to buy that home? I've heard that sometimes you need cash.
You only need cash at auctions. Auctions are the worst deal in all possible situations.
So stay away from auctions.
Stay away from auctions. That's the foreclosures of the old days. That's not how we do them today.
So it's more one-on-one between potential buyer and the bank and the possible homeowner.
Exactly. Just bring the three together, settle on a price. You can use conventional financing, so you can have financing. You can put your 5 or 10% down that you would in any other resale home.
How applicable is all of this to the New York City apartment condo co-op market?
It's not quite as applicable in co-ops, but anything for sale can be foreclosed upon. So in that situation, it's completely applicable.